Welcome back to the Game of Sales, the podcast that equips you with the skills, strategies, and tools to dominate every deal and close with confidence. I'm your host, Desi Barnes, and today we're diving into a game changing way to sharpen your skills, boost your confidence, and become unstoppable in the field. Role playing with AI. Here's the truth: great salespeople aren't born, they're made. Top performers put in the reps, they practice their pitches, refine their responses, and learn how to handle objections before they face them with real prospects. The problem: traditional role playing is awkward. You have to drag your team into practice sessions. You might not get realistic feedback. And let's be honest, it's time consuming, and most reps hate it. But AI changes everything. With AI tools, you can role play anytime, anywhere, no partner needed. Simulate realistic buyer scenarios tailored to your deals. Get immediate feedback to improve your tone, messaging, and objection handling. By the end of today's episode, you'll know how to use AI tools to role play realistic buyer scenarios, how to sharpen your objection handling skills with AI powered simulations, how to track your progress and turn practice into real world results. If you're ready to turn your AI into your personal sales coach, show up to every call sharp, confident, and prepared, this episode is for you. Let's get into it.
One, two, three, four.
Let me tell you about a rep I worked with. Let's call him Tony. Tony was talented, he knew his product, he built great relationships, and he could sell when things went smoothly. But here's where he struggled: objections. Every time a buyer said, "This isn't in our budget," or "We're already working with someone," Tony froze. He stumbled through his responses, lost his confidence, more often than not, lost the deal. Sounds familiar? Here's the thing: Tony wasn't bad at handling objections. He just wasn't prepared. He needed practice. But like most sales reps, he dreaded traditional role playing sessions. The pressure and the awkwardness felt fake and unhelpful. That's when I introduced to him AI role playing tools. Instead of relying on teammates, Tony started using AI powered simulations to practice real buyer conversations. Here's what happened: he practiced handling objections like "it's too expensive" and "call me next quarter" until his responses felt natural and confident. AI gave him feedback on his tone, pacing, and messaging so he could refine his delivery. He role played on his own schedule, no awkward team sessions, just focused, personalized practice. After just a few weeks, Tony started showing up to calls sharper, smoother, and more prepared than ever. He didn't freeze when objections came up. He leaned into them and turned objections into opportunities. His close rate jumped up 20%. Here's the lesson: role playing isn't optional, it's essential. But AI has made it faster, easier, and more effective than ever. Think about it. Would you rather wing it on a live call and risk losing the deal, or practice with AI, get feedback, and show up to the call knowing you're ready for anything? Today we're breaking it down into three actionable tactics: how to use AI in role playing realistic buyer scenarios, how to sharpen your objection handling skills with AI feedback, how to track your progress and turn AI practice into real world wins. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear playbook for using AI as your personal sales coach. Let's dive into tactic 1: how to use AI to role play realistic buyer scenarios. Let's kick off tactic 1: how to use AI to role play realistic buyer scenarios. Here's the deal: you can't improve what you don't practice. The best reps don't just prepare, they simulate. They practice handling tough conversations before they happen so they're ready to perform when it counts. But here's the challenge: traditional role playing is clunky and unrealistic. You're often paired with teammates who know the same objections you do, so the practice feels stale and forced. Plus, let's be honest, it's uncomfortable. That's where AI comes in. With AI tools, you can create buyer scenarios tailored to real objections, industries, and pain points. You're practicing in a safe, controlled environment on your own time until you're sharp, confident, and ready to win. Here's how to use AI to role play realistic buyer scenarios in 3 steps. Choose an AI powered role playing tool. Create realistic, tailored buyer simulations. Focus on repetition and refinement. Let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Choose your AI powered role playing tool. The first step is pick the AI tool that lets you simulate real conversations. These tools use natural language processing to create dynamic back and forth role playing scenarios. Here are 3 tools I recommend. Second Nature. Second Nature acts as your visual sales coach. It simulates conversations with AI buyers who ask questions, throw objections, and respond dynamically based on what you say. You can practice pitching, objection handling, or discovery calls. Hi, I'm your AI buyer. Why should I choose your product over your competition? Rehearsal. Rehearsal lets you record video responses to AI generated prompts. You can practice your pitch, refine your delivery, and get feedback on your messaging, tone, and confidence. ChatGPT or Claude AI. You can use AI platforms like ChatGPT to create a customized buyer simulation. For example, you can ask, pretend you are a CFO at a manufacturing company. Push back on pricing and ask about ORI justification. I worked with a team who struggled with price objections. Using Second Nature, they practiced responding to, the solution seems too expensive for us. The AI buyer pushed back, asked clarifying questions, and forced them to sharpen their messaging. Within weeks, the team was closing 20% more price sensitive deals because they practiced for the real thing. Don't overthink the tool. Pick one and start practicing, whether it's a sophisticated platform or a simple AI chatbot. The key is to get the reps in. Step 2. Create realistic, tailored buyer simulations. Step 2 is where the magic happens, tailoring the AI scenarios to match real buyer conversations. The more realistic the practice, the better prepared you'll be when the actual call happens. Here's how you tailor your scenarios. Choose a buyer persona. Decide who you're role playing against. Is it a CFO, a VP of sales, or an IT director? Each persona will ask different questions and focus on different priorities. For an example, I'm a VP of sales struggling to hit my team's revenue goals. Convince me your solution can help. Ask specific objections or questions. Input real objections or tough questions you hear on your calls. This isn't in our budget right now. We've already working with a competitor. Can you show me the ORI of this investment? Focus on real deals in your pipeline. If you got a big deal coming up, simulate that conversation. Practice answering questions, objections, and specifics to the prospect's business and priority. A rep I worked with had a deal stall because the prospect was asking for more ROI proof. We set up an AI simulation. Pretend you're a skeptical CFO. Challenge me to prove the ROI on my solution. The AI pushed back, asked tough questions, and forced the rep to refine his answers. When the real call happened, he handled the CFO's objections flawlessly and closed the deal. Pro tip: start with one common objection you hear every day, like pricing or competition. Run it through the AI until your response feels natural, polished, and confident. The final step is to focus on repetition and refinement. Role playing once isn't enough. You need to practice repeatedly until your response becomes second nature. Here's how you make the most out of your AI practice sessions. Repeat tough scenarios until they're easy. Run the same objection or question through the AI multiple times. Try different approaches until you find one that works the best. It's too expensive. Practice 3 versions of your response. Record and review your sessions. Tools like Rehearsal or Second Nature let you record your answers. Listen back to your tone, pacing, and messaging. Ask yourself, do I sound confident and clear? Did I address the buyer's concerns effectively? Get feedback from your AI. Many tools provide instant feedback on your delivery, like tone, clarity, and word of choice. Use this feedback to refine your messaging, make incremental improvements. A rep I worked with that struggled with confidence when handling competition based objections. Using AI, he practiced this scenario. Why should I choose you over the competitor? After 10 repetitions, he nailed the response that highlighted his product's unique value without bashing the competition. On his next live call, the buyer said, "That's a great point. I didn't think about it that way." The deal closed 2 weeks later. Pro tip: practice short, focused sessions, 15 to 20 minutes a day. Over time, this adds up to hours of preparation that gives you real deal advantage in the field. Here's the big takeaway: AI role playing lets you practice smarter, not harder. Choose an AI tool like Second Nature, Rehearsal, or ChatGPT to simulate realistic buyer conversations. Tailor your practice to real scenarios, personas, and objections you face in your deals. Repeat, refine, and review until your responses are sharp, confident, and ready for the field. When you practice with AI, you're not just guessing, you're preparing, and that preparation is what separates average reps from top performers. Here's your challenge for the week: pick one AI tool like ChatGPT, Second Nature, or Rehearsal and set up a role playing scenario based on real objections you hear often. Practice the scenarios 10 times this week. Focus on refining your tone, message, and delivery. Record and review one of your responses. Note where you can improve and tweak your approach. By the end of the week, you'll be sharper, smoother, and ready to handle objections with confidence on your next call. Remember, practice makes progress, and AI gives you a way to practice smarter. Start using it today, and you'll show up to every call ready to win. Alright, that's tactic one. Coming up next, we're diving into tactic two: how to sharpen your objection handling skills with AI feedback. Don't go anywhere, we're just getting started. Let's move into tactic two: how to use AI to streamline outreach and follow ups while keeping it personal. Here's the challenge: sales reps are told to send more outreach and follow up faster. But here's the problem: buyers are flooded with messages every day. Just following up emails doesn't cut it anymore, and generic outreach gets ignored. The solution: use AI to scale your outreach while keeping it hyper personalized. With the right tools, you can automate follow ups and outreach at scale, personalize your messaging using AI insights, time your follow ups perfectly for maximum response. Let's break it down step by step. Step 1: automate follow ups and outreach at scale. The first step is to use AI tools to automate your follow ups and outreach so you can scale your efforts without missing a beat. Here's what happens when you don't automate: you forget to follow up, you waste time writing the same emails over and over, opportunities slip through the cracks. Here's how AI fixes it: automated sequences. Tools like Outreach, Apollo.io, and HubSpot let you build email sequences that run automatically, and you can schedule touches like email, LinkedIn messages, or reminders to calls over days, weeks, or months. An example: instead of writing follow ups from scratch, you can set up a 4 step sequence. Day 0: personalized email recap. Day 3: value based follow up sharing a relevant source. Day 7: LinkedIn message with a quick question. Day 14: the final breakup email. CRM integrated AI tools, platforms like Salesforce Einstein or Zoho CRM, will analyze your leads and automatically prioritize follow up tasks. They'll tell you exactly who to reach out to and when. A rep I worked with used Apollo.io to automate her follow ups. She set up a sequence that combined email and LinkedIn touches. Instead of chasing leads manually, the AI handled the scheduling and she just focused on replying to engaged prospects. The results: she doubled her follow ups without working more hours. A pro tip: always review your sequences to make sure they sound human. AI helps you scale, but your messaging still needs to feel personal. Step 2: personalize your messaging using AI insights. Here's the thing: automation without personalization is just spam. AI tools can help you personalize outreach at scale by gathering insights and writing messages that speak directly to the buyer's challenges or goals. Here are 2 ways you can personalize your outreach using AI. AI powered message generation. Tools like ChatGPT, Lavender, Reggie.ai can draft personalized emails based on what you know about the buyer. All you need to do is plug in the details: their name, their company, a pain point, or recent trigger event. Example: instead of this generic email, "Hi, just checking in on my proposal," you can send this AI personalized version. "Hi, name. I noticed company just launched a new product line. Congrats. I imagine scaling your sales team is a top priority right now. Here's a resource on how we help client reduce ramp up time by 30%. Would you love to discuss how we can do the same for you?" That's personalization at scale. AI drafts it, you polish it. Contextual research tools. Tools like Gong.io and Clearbit pull insights on buyers' behavior, company updates, and content engagement. This lets you tailor your messaging based on what matters most to them. A rep I coach used Reggie.ai to draft outreach emails. He fed the AI a buyer's LinkedIn post about expanding their team. The AI generated this: "Hi, name. I saw your team is growing. Congrats. Fast hiring often leads to onboarding challenges. Here's a quick guide on how we help companies scale their team while keeping productivity high." The buyer responded immediately because the message felt tailored, not templated. Pro tip: always add a final human touch, something only you could say. AI gets you 90% of the way there, but the last 10% is what makes it genuine. Step 3: time for follow ups perfectly for maximum response. Third step is to use AI to time your outreach and follow ups perfectly. Timing matters more than you think. Send follow ups at the wrong time and it gets buried. Send it when the buyer's thinking about you and you've got their attention. Here's how AI can help: email engagement tracking. Tools like HubSpot, Outreach, and Yesware track when a prospect opens your email or clicks a link. AI will notify you in real time so you can follow up when you're already on their mind. They just opened your proposal, call them now. AI driven best times to send. Tools like Boomerang, 7th Sense analyze buyer behavior and tell you the best time to send your outreach. A rep I worked with noticed that his open rates were low. We used 7 Cents to analyze his buyers' activity, discovered they engaged most on Tuesday mornings. He adjusted his sequence and his open rates jumped 25%. Pro tip: combine timing insights with your follow up sequences. If a buyer engages your email, make your next touch personal and timely, like a quick LinkedIn message or a phone call. AI gives you the timing advantage, but you close the loop. Here's the takeaway: AI can help you streamline your outreach and follow ups without losing the personal touch. Use automated sequences to stay consistent and save time. Use AI tools to personalize your messaging so it speaks directly to your buyer's priority. Time your follow ups perfectly so you always show up when it matters the most. When you combine automation with personalization and timing, your outreach becomes the tool for building trust, not just filling inboxes. Here's your challenge for the week: pick one AI tool like Apollo.io, Outreach, or Lavender and use it to automate a 4 step follow up sequence for your top 10 prospects. Personalize each message with AI generated insights and add a final human touch. Use engagement tracking. Time follow up perfectly, whether it's a call, email, or LinkedIn message. Track how many responses you get when you combine automation, personalization, and timing. You will see the follow ups become more effective and you spend less time doing busy work. Alright, that's tactic 2. Next up, we're diving into tactic 3: how to use AI to deliver insights and recommendations so you always know the best move. Stay with me, you don't want to miss this either. Alright, let's wrap this up with tactic 3: how to track progress and turn AI practice into real world wins. Here's the thing: practicing with AI tools is a game changer, but practice alone isn't enough. You need to measure your progress, identify what's working, and turn those skills into real world results on the field. Think about it like sports. A player doesn't just run drills, they track their stats, analyze their performance, and use that data to get better. The same goes for sales. The more you track and improve, the faster you'll turn practice into closed deals. So, how do you do it? Here's a 3 step system. Track your AI practice metrics to measure your improvement. Test your skills in real sales conversations. Review your results and refine your approach continuously. Let's break this down step by step. The first step is track your performance during AI practice sessions. Most AI role playing tools provide feedback on your skills like tone, pace, clarity, objection handling. Use this feedback to track your progress over time. Here's what you measure: response quality. Are your answers clear, concise, and value driven? Objection handling. How effectively do you respond to tough objections? Confidence and delivery. How strong is your tone, pacing, and body language? Tools to use: second nature and rehearsal. These tools give you scores and feedback on key areas like tone and content and delivery. ChatGPT with feedback. If you're using AI chat tools, ask your AI to critique your responses. How can I make this response more compelling? Did you did I address the buyer's objection effectively? I work with a rep who practiced handling objections with second nature. At first his score was low. His responses were defensive and he didn't focus on value. Over 2 weeks of daily practice, his scores improved. He learned to refine his price conversations to focus on ROI and long term value. When he faced a real price objection on a sales call, he didn't freeze. He confidently said, I understand the price is a concern, but let me share how this investment helped client A save 50,000 in the first quarter. The deal closed. Pro tip: track your scores or improvements weekly. Over time, you'll see clear progress that builds confidence. Step 2 is to take what you've practiced and test it in the real world. AI helps you refine your skills, but the real test comes when you're face to face or screen to screen with buyers. Here's how to bridge the gap between practice and performance. Set a goal for each call. Focus on applying one skill you practice with AI, like handling objections, improving your tone, or asking better discovery questions. If you practice handling "we've already working with a competitor" objection, make it your goal to use that response confidently on your next call. Track real world results after each call and ask yourself, did I handle that objection better than last time? Did my response keep the conversation going? What can I improve on next time? Log wins and lessons. Use a simple notebook, CRM notes, or a feedback log to record the objections or challenges you face, how you responded, and what worked. What you'll tweak next time. A rep I coach practiced handling timeline objections with AI tools. He focused on staying calm and asking questions like, what's driving the current timeline? What happens if this challenge isn't addressed by the next quarter? On his next real call, the buyer pushed back on timing. Instead of panicking, the rep leaned on his practice, asked the right questions, and uncovered the buyer's hesitation was tied to internal budget cycles. He repositioned the deal to align with their budget approval process, and a month later, it closed. Pro tip: after every call, take 2 minutes to reflect. What did I apply from practice? What worked? What's my focus for the next call? This turned practice into measurable growth. The third step is to continually review progress and refine your approach. Improvements is a cycle. Practice, test, review, refine. Here's how you do it. Compare your practice feedback to real world results. If AI flagged your tone was too rushed, did you fix it on your last call? If AI recommended a better objection response, did you test it and how did it land? Look for patterns. Over time, you'll notice where you struggled and where you shined. For example, are certain objections consistently tripping you up? Focus more AI practice there. Is your tone strong, but your messaging needs work? Adjust accordingly. Set weekly improvement goals. Choose one area to refine every week, like slowing your pace, improving your confidence, or perfecting a specific objection response. A rep I worked with used the AI tools to refine their discovery questions. Over time, they noticed that buyers were more engaged when they asked open ended, outcome focused questions like, what impact would solving this problem have on your team? By reviewing their calls, they refined their discovery strategy, booked more follow up meetings, and shortened their sales cycle by 20%. Pro tip: treat feedback, whether from AI or real calls, as fuel for growth. The reps who improve fastest are the ones who take feedback seriously and act on it. Here's the bottom line: tracking your progress turns practice into performance. Use AI tools to measure your skills like objection handling, tone, and delivery. Test what you've practiced in real sales conversations and log your wins and lessons. Continuously review your progress, identify areas to improve, and set weekly goals for your growth. When you combine AI practice with real world application and constant refinement, you'll see a measurable difference in your confidence, skills, and results. Here's your challenge for the week: choose one skill to measure, like handling an objection, improving your tone, or asking better discovery questions. Use an AI role playing tool to practice that skill 10 times. Track your progress and feedback. Test the skill on at least 3 real sales calls this week. After each call, log what worked, what didn't, and what you'll improve next. By the end of the week, you'll see measurable growth. You'll show up to every call sharper, smoother, and more prepared to win. Alright, that's tactic 3. Coming up next, we're wrapping up with a quick recap, your full action plan to start role playing with AI and sharpening your skills for the field. Don't go anywhere, we're finishing strong. Alright, let's bring this home with a quick recap and a clear action plan so you can start role playing with AI and showing up sharper, more confident, and ready to win on every call. Today we tackled how to use AI as your personal sales coach to master role playing, because here's the truth: skills aren't built in the field, they're built in practice. Here's what we covered. Tactic 1: how to use AI to role play realistic buyer scenarios. Use tools like Second Nature, Rehearsal, or ChatGPT to simulate real conversations with buyers. Tailor your practice to specific buyer personas, objections, and real deals in your pipeline. Focus on repetition, run through tough scenarios until your responses are sharp, clear, and confident. Tactic 2: how to sharpen your objection handling skills with AI feedback. Use AI tools to practice objections like "it's too expensive" or "we're already working with someone" to get real time feedback on your tone, clarity, and messaging, and refine your responses. Combine AI practice with real world testing to see how your skills hold up on actual sales calls. Tactic 3: how to track progress and turn AI practice into real world wins. Track key metrics during practice like response quality, objection handling, and delivery. Test those skills in live calls and log your results. What worked, what didn't, and what to improve. Continuously refine your approach, setting weekly goals to combine momentum and measurable growth. The key takeaway: AI role playing gives you the reps you need to perform under pressure. When you practice smarter, track your progress, and refine your skills, you show up prepared for anything, and that's how you win more deals. Here's your challenge for the week: pick one AI tool like Second Nature, Rehearsal, or ChatGPT and set up role playing sessions based on objections or scenarios you are facing. Practice that scenario 10 times. Pay attention to your tone, clarity, and response quality. Test your refined approach in at least 3 live sales calls. After each call, log what worked, what needs improvement, and what you'll practice next time. By the end of the week, you'll have stronger, sharper skills, you'll be more confident, and a clear roadmap for continuous improvement. Remember, the reps you put in today are the wins you'll get tomorrow. Start practicing smarter and watch your results take off. I want to thank you for listening to Game of Sales, the podcast where strategy meets skill and every move counts. If you found value in today's episode, do me a favor: share this with a teammate or a friend who needs to hear it.
Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode. You don't want to miss it. Thanks you for joining me today. I'm Desi Barnes, and I'll see you next time on Game of Sales. Now let's go get that win.